Here we are. It's like 6:15 in the morning. You can see out the window the sun's just starting to come up.
The damn rooster is at it.
And you know how when your mom tells you you're supposed to wear clean underwear in case you get in a car accident? Today it's in case we get stamped by elephants. Elephant stampede.
Yeah.
It's a pretty exciting day.
Because clean underwear will be what's important.
Wanna move my feet, wanna drink my wine. 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 Wanna move my feet.
You can see an elephant. They had us put on these cute little shirt jacket things. And now everybody's just waiting for the elephants to show up. These are just two babies. Scratch your face.
Good.
Look at me, lady. Camilla.
Banana on the ground.
Wanna move my feet.
The lap blue. Get them pulled out.
That's what I was wondering what the little...
Shake it, shake it.
No, mas a do Brasil, né? Mas
So here we are, end of the day.
It was Elephant Day today.
Elephant Day. we went and visited the elephant sanctuary, of which there are many out here. And there are a lot of different opportunities to visit elephants and different types of experiences. We opted for the no-ride elephant experience.
Because it was bad to ride an elephant.
That's what we hear.
That's what we hear.
I
In
I
any
don't-
event, do we really need to be riding elephants?
wasn't really interested in riding an elephant. The places that have elephant rides have a bad reputation as people who don't treat their elephants well. I don't know. But we went and played with the elephants instead.
Yeah, instead, we
which is
figured
fun.
we'd do something that we knew wouldn't hurt an elephant, which was just going
Feed
and
the
hanging
crud out of
out.
them.
We fed them bananas, and they ate bamboo, and we
Corn
took
stalks,
pictures.
actually. It was corn stalks, not bamboo.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was
Huge
corn
corn
stalks.
stalks.
They pick the corn and then they give the stalks to the elephants. Take it on the other side.
Tough. So you know how to do breakfast.
Mira, guapo. Okay. Okay, vamos. Do you know sandwich? Male stronger than female. If male hormone in the house,
Wanna move my feet. Wanna do my one. Wanna move my feet. Wanna do my one. Wanna move my feet. Wanna do my one. Wanna move my feet. Wanna do my
So anyway, where did we leave off?
I don't know.
Oh, we changed into our swimsuits, and then we went down to this giant mud puddle, and everybody got in along with the elephants, and then we just smeared mud on them and threw muddy water on them because that helps cool their skin down and keeps bugs off. And
Yeah, they naturally will roll in the mud when they get a chance to.
they
That's
rolled
all.
around.
You've all seen that. We just got to be there for it.
Right, it was kind of
Yeah.
fun.
I'm absolutely certain that all that mud was mud. Probably some elephant poop mixed in, but we're not talking
Yeah,
about
we
that.
kept our mouths closed.
Yeah, we're
closed,
not
so
going to talk
that
about
was-
that stuff.
Hey,
But,
you know.
It was a lot of fun, and people were smearing elephant mud all over themselves, and that was kind of fun to watch.
When we got back in the car, I said to Steve, was it worth it if we get dengue fever if we saw the elephants? We're not sure yet.
Yeah.
We'll let you know. But anyway, and then they went from the mud puddle over to the river.
Little river, little stream.
Yeah. And got into the stream, and everybody took little buckets, and we just threw water up on top of them,
Splashed the elephants.
splashed them. Yeah.
The elephants were cool. They had one little 2.5-year-old who was a little aggressive because he's a baby, but
And a
the
boy.
old ladies were just as mellow as can be, and were just a lot of fun to be around. It's so neat. You'll see with the pictures and video at another time.
Right.
But they were just so neat to rub on them and hold them, and kind of just feeling this massive animal. It
Yeah.
was a really cool experience. Okay, here we go. Excuse me. He got me good, didn't he?
Oh, holy water!
What do you call that?
Video.
Look at you play down on one knee.
Wanna know my feet? Wanna drink my wine? Wanna know my feet? Wanna drink my wine? Wanna know my feet? Wanna drink my wine? Wanna know my feet?
Look at him.
Oh, baby, come this way. Come this way. This way. Some kind of elephant they're running. Yeah, baby. This side. This side. Okay. This side. This way, closer. That is too heavy. Oh my God.
Run it, run it. Run it.
They have open air group showers at the end, so you can go rinse off all the mud, including soap, and changing rooms, which are just open air, mud on the ground kind of thing. So you're just doing a basic rinse off and change back to your clothes. And then they served us like a light lunch, which was rice, there was some soup, there was fruit,
Chicken and potato curry thing.
chicken potato curry,
And some stir-fried vegetables. It was good.
vegetables. You know, yeah,
It
it
was
was
plenty good.
it was plenty good, and it's so hot that you don't want to eat a whole lot anyway. So, and it wasn't crazy. We did take our insect spray and definitely our suntan lotion, but I didn't think that the insect spray was necessarily
necessary.
needed.
But it
Yeah.
was out in a really jungly sort of place. And,
Oh yeah,
you know, we've gotten eat up a little bit just here in town, so we weren't taking any chances.
yeah.
So we did a little.
We brought it with us
Deet.
knowing we would like to do the elephant thing and see the elephants. And
Of course, then we properly waded
So-
into water, so much for the
Right.
deed around our legs. There goes Mom.
let's see if I can get it. They're close.
Oh, you were talking to me, are you? Huh? Huh? Okay. There you go. Yeah, that's a good shot. So there's some video. Watch this.
Oh, I'm still hungry.
You're the star of the show, my friend. No, that's my camera. That's not my.
So, any thoughts on the elephants?
I really was impressed with the elephants. We see them in zoos, and it's just not the same thing at all as being right next to this, 700 kilogram or whatever, 800 kilogram animal, and feeling their skin. It's elephant hide. It's tough. It's incredibly tough, and there's wrinkles in places. So it's like really thick leather, but there's this massive animal behind it. I don't know how else to
It just
describe
helps you to understand the
You start to really feel
intensity of how big they are and
pictures.
how.
It's one of those things. Pictures don't do it.
Right.
Pictures just can't do it that much, and being next to them and touching them really was cool.
Yep.
So,
And you didn't have to get in if you didn't want to. There were several people who never put on their swimsuits. They just walked around the outside of
Took
the
pictures.
puddles and took pictures. And at the beginning, when you feed them, you put on this like a
little smock thing.
thing.
Which for some reason I don't know. The elephants are
I
used
don't
to it.
know.
or
Yeah,
what's it
I
about?
kind of think it maybe smells like elephants and encourages, blocks your smell. Maybe I don't know. It'd be
Sure what
interesting
those
to know.
about.
If you know, put that in the
Put that in the
comments.
comments.
Because we would really love to know what the purpose of that was, or if it was just, to be interesting and to make videos and photos more colorful. I mean, it could be any
You had a
number.
banana pocket though. I'll tell you that. You could put your banana.
Banana pocket.
Those guys went through
So.
some bananas, man. You think
Wow.
about, how much an animal that size eats, and it's just incredible because the bananas are going in by the double handful. Just here's 4
Right.
bananas, here's another 4 bananas, here's another 4 bananas.
And that was
Elephants
something-
not even noticing. It's like eating a crouton would be for us. And
Right.
Eating the bananas.
And
Yeah,
the guys
nothing.
that were there that helped us, and they came clear to our hotel and picked us up. But anyway, they gave us like a little, lesson on safety and also to learn about the elephants. And they talked about the fact that their intestinal tract is really short. They don't have a long stomach area like we do. And so within an hour, what goes in comes right back out again. So it was just kind of interesting to learn about it and the difference between Asian elephants and African elephants. And so
The
there
elephants
were,
had kind of different stories too. There was one of them who had she had holes up in the tops of her ears,
Yeah,
which
kinda
apparently
like
she
up
had
here.
used to work in a lumber operation, a logging operation, and they put rope through her ears to steer her,
To
which is
steer
kind
her.
of terrible and sad sounding. But she's in a wonderful home now. These guys
So-
they don't last. They live. I don't know how long, but
75 years.
She was
up to
45-year-old elephant, and
Right,
That's a
because
long
they said
time.
there were 4 elephants there, and 2 of them were babies, being like 2.5 and 7, and then the other one was like 35, and
was like
another
45
one
or
was
something.
45. But they had just lost 2 members of their.
the 2 grandmas died.
The 2 grandmas died, and one was 75, and the other one was 60. I think they said.
It's
So
just roughly human lifespan. These massive animals is pretty amazing.
yeah,
And they go
it's-
through a lot. You think about this: a 45-year-old animal that spent a big part of her life moving logs around, and so now she's in a wonderful retirement home, basically, where people gush over her all day long and hand feed her
Throw water and
bananas,
mud
and
on her.
rub mud on her, and pat her and hug her, and
Right.
wash her down afterwards. So I think they're living a pretty good life up there in the hills, and so it's nice to see that they
I hope so.
started
I hope
off in one way and are legitimately look to be living a nice life.
Right. And they said they have them broken up into smaller groups because when they're in large groups, they tend to fight more, and it can be a little more dangerous.
They can be
So this
standoffish
just-
to people too. If they're with a huge group of people, with a small group of them, they get used
Right.
to people, and it's no problem.
Right. I think it was worth the money, don't you?
Oh yeah,
It was,
it's about 60 bucks a head.
$60 each.
That was a hour and a half ride up and back into the hills, a good lunch, and a couple hours playing with elephants,
Right.
and that was a great deal.
And we rode in the back of a truck back, no seatbelts anywhere, and it was
The ongoing thing about how Asia is different than the U.S. You know,
Yeah.
in so many places in the U.S. you can't even legally ride in the back of a truck. Here, it's just a normal mode of transportation. Little trucks like that are all over town taking people around.
And we jumped right in and did it. So I was not going to miss the chance to pet and wash elephants if I figured that's a once in a lifetimer, and I wasn't going to miss that.
It's
And
interesting,
riding
though.
in the back of a truck.
We were the
chances
oldest
are pretty
people there
good.
by 20 years.
We were. I thought that was kind of interesting. The next oldest people were like 36,
36
and so
was
this
the
was
next
definitely
oldest,
something that 20-somethings and 30-somethings were doing. So I don't know why
Old fogies, I don't know what the problem
why
is.
older populations are not going. So if you're somebody who, you know, is going to start watching our thing, this is something we would definitely recommend. It was not taxing or straining. You know, I didn't have any problems getting up hills, down hills, and, you know, it was something that,
If you could walk around, you can do this.
yeah, that you can do.
This is not
And
an athletic
we
pursuit.
chose a half-day morning. I would do that instead of the afternoon because it does get, the heat builds up to about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I would definitely do that. I know they have full days. That might be a little much for me, but
Half day was just right.
half-day was just right.
Had a couple hours with the elephants, and
We
we
came
chatted
home.
with some really nice people. There
Yes.
were people in the group from Portugal, Brazil, Italy, Scotland, England, several from California,
Canada,
and I think that pretty much covers Mexico.
Mexico.
That pretty much covers everybody.
And they were all so nice and
All nice
really
people.
friendly and just, you know, willing to tell where they were going and what they had seen and where they'd eaten and, you know, what their
It's
plan
fun.
was, how they were traveling. And it just helps you to kind of see you can do it too. You do not have to wait until you retire to do this.
Or dead.
Or dead.
People wait till
So-
they're dead. They
Yeah,
do.
sometimes people wait until it's too
Just
late.
wait.
So
And
don't
then-
wait till it's too late
Don't
because you can. And one of the things that we did notice and we talked about was the fact that once you start traveling, it kind of encourages you to reassess how you're currently living, and often it makes it a little easier when you talk to other people. And some of them had sold their homes. Some of them were going to put their home up for rent.
Considering it, yeah.
They were getting jobs in other areas. Like we talked to somebody today that was actually going to be working in Alaska, so not necessarily other countries, but just open to moving about and looking at alternative ways to live, whether it's a van or an RV or just traveling and living in other countries. So there's a large population here that is from the United States that lives here all the time, I think.
Yeah,
So-
U.S. and a lot of UK, judging by the accents, a whole lot of UK, more than the U.S., but U.S. is very strong.
Heavy
And,
Chinese. I
Lots
think.
of, well, the Chinese
Lots
are
of
mostly all
Chinese.
tourists, as near as I can tell.
Yeah, yeah.
There aren't any Chinese expats probably, but a lot of Chinese tourists. And but the expats are pretty thick around here.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, which is good. I mean, then you get somebody to talk to every so often that speaks the language, because it can get kind of, you know, quiet and lonely. Not if, you know, people know English, but sometimes it's very broken, and you're in a restaurant, and so you chat a little bit.
Just taking your order and getting
But
out
it's
of the
nice
way.
when you run into somebody who speaks English, and you just get to, this is what we've been doing. What have you been doing? So
Well, now you're
it's
enjoying
good fun.
what you have there, not only a cultural thing in common, you have an experiential thing in common. And here you are in this incredibly different culture than what you grew up in. And so they're from your culture, and you're both experiencing this sort of massive difference. So that's something that you always have something to talk about. Instantly, you have something to talk about.
Yeah, because you're both traveling. So
A lot of fun.
I think it's been a good experience, and we're on week 3, and we're going to be here one more week. We're going to go out for a fancy meal tomorrow, so we're going to put that into a video. We'll see. And I can't. It's called.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
It's a 12-course
Tune in.
meal.
12-course meal. And so I think we figured it's about $45. And the person who cooks is creating food that's kind of from each region. So from the ocean, from the mountains, and from the city or farm areas. And so he's using all things from this from this area
So
to make
this
the
is
food.
a big splurge. I mean, $45 isn't a lot of money for us as Westerners, but for $45 worth of food here, you could eat all week long out of street vendors for $45.
Right.
So this is a big deal meal
Well,
for us.
and
But at the
more
same
for
time, where
me-
would you get a 12-course meal
Right.
back home for $45?
If you
It's
wanted
not
to do a fancy 12-course meal, fine
Hundreds
dining
of
in the
dollars.
United States, it would be hundreds of dollars. And so I thought,
Let's go for this.
it's in the Michelin book. I don't think it's Michelin star rated kind of thing, but it's definitely been reviewed by them. And it said a good, strong, enjoyable meal. We like those. So we're going to go experience that and see. Plus, it's about 20 minutes away. So anytime we get kind of out and around and we'll get to drive in the countryside and see that, we think that's kind of fun to do too. So, boys, the sun is setting or is down, but the sun
Doesn't really show it.
it doesn't show it as well
No.
or as beautifully. You can see the
But you
lights are
gotta
starting to
point
come
it up
up.
towards the sky.
Oh,
There you go.
there you go.
Because the camera's trying to normalize. And
Right. So you can see the colorful clouds. So it's starting to glow a little bit. So anyway, we would love to have you join. So if you would like to subscribe, please push the button because we would really love to have you. We do watch, and I've been responding to messages and things. So, we're learning as we go. So.
we need the mercy love.